Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the ESL UK studios for the ESL UK CSGO Premiership. My name is Knight. This lovely gentleman alongside me is Hoss.
Yeah, I am. And this is the Group A lower bracket final, or consolidation final, I guess would be the correct term. And the winner...
Well, no, it's not consolidation
Well,
final because
technically
the teams
it
still
is.
win. Well, it's not much. Normally it's a consolidation final when...
For third place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the team who win this qualify for the offline event.
But they also get third place. But yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. The winner of this match gets their
No, the losers get third place.
Yeah, loser gets third place. Winner...
Yes, gets second place and
gets
qualifies.
second place and qualifies to
correct again,
MCM
Hoss.
London Comic-Con.
God, I mean, we knew your maths was bad, but...
Jeez.
But no, seriously, let's take a look at the bracket. So, xenX beat MALiK 2-0.
It's been a group of 2-0s.
And exceL beat MALiK 2-0 as well. This is a bit confusing.
No,
wait, no. exceL
What
beat
are you
Perilous
on
Rage
about, mate?
2-0. Okay, you got me. Finally,
What are you on
I made a
about?
mistake.
Yeah.
I made a mistake, finally. So yeah, whoever wins this best of three will end up not playing against xenX, qualifying for the offline event. Tell us more about the offline event, Hoss.
Yeah, the offline event is going to be held at MCM London Comic Con at, funnily enough, the exceL Centre in Docklands. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of May, I believe we have a bank holiday at the end of May, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
we
so,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I think, around the 25th is around the date I have in my head. Let me check. Sounds about right. So yeah, it's going to be in front of thousands, literally, of people.
And you can come and watch.
And you can come and watch. You can buy your tickets online now at the MCM London Comic Con website. Just Google that, and tickets should come up. I believe they're pretty cheap as well. 10, 15 quid, I think, for an adult ticket. It's across all 3 days if you want a weekend ticket to come and watch League, CSGO on both days as well. We have League on Friday, Saturday, and then CSGO on Saturday and Sunday, with the finals being played on Sunday. So go grab yourself a weekend ticket.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
And you might get to be able to see Hoss in the flesh.
Yep. I actually had someone come up, land to me and say, "Can I get a picture?" I was like,
"Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah.
But no, on a serious...
And then you realise it was Wawa.
Oh, Wawa. Oh, Wawa.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, how much did Wawa lose at the casino today?
Well, if you'd head over to his tweet, you'd find out.
I don't follow him on Twitter.
300 quid.
Wow. But anyways,
Yeah.
whoever wins this game will win 50 quid. Let's just hope that they don't end up gambling it away on CSGO Lounge
Dirty
later
eSports
on.
money.
Dirty eSports money. So, tell us about the 3 maps, Hoss, because I forgot what they were. Yeah.
Of course you did. That was an interesting thing, though. Imi actually just knifed his own teammate in the knife round.
Yeah,
there.
I'm serious. Talk about the maps.
Yeah,
what are the
all
maps?
right.
Tell them what the maps are.
The first map is Nuke, because EPS, when we changed Nuke and Train in the active map pool, EPS was already underway with the qualification rounds, so it didn't make sense to change it. So we do have Nuke as our first map. Map number 2 is then Cache. It seems the UK staple right now. And should we need it, map number 3 is going to be Overpass.
Overpass is going to be an interesting one.
It certainly will be. It's certainly no cobblestone, but it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw cobblestone in one of these ESL UK
it was MALiK.
Premiership games, I almost had a heart attack by the end of it.
Yeah,
1 o'clock in the morning, trying to cast the new cobblestone.
We started
for the
talking about
first
chicken, if I recall correctly.
Well, again,
Anything.
chicken isn't exactly irrelevant as far as CSGO is concerned.
This is true.
Let's be honest.
This is true. And when we're casting, we can end up segueing into anything. But MALiK, exceL won the knife round, so they now get their choice of side, which on Nuke is pretty vital.
It is. It's a very CT-sided map. Not as CT-sided as it used to be once upon a time, because obviously they swapped backsteps, or BAPsteps as some people know it from back in Source.
Is it not just secret? Yeah, yeah,
but it used to be known as
backsteps behind garage. Yeah.
But basically, the term BAPsteps comes from back in the day. You know, Enemy Down.
Yep. The website that ruined the UK scene because it shut down.
Scene. It was
no, because it shut down. But yeah.
Anyways, Enemy Down. Rest in pepperonis. So basically, I think they had county qualifiers, something along those lines. I think there was a Glasgow team or a Scotland team. And
I remember seeing a video of this. Yes,
yeah, and it
sent me this.
Yeah, and it was on Nuke. And basically, I think the Scots were down 11-4 or 12-3 at half time, and then they brought it back. And one of the guys died, and he was like so tensed and under pressure that instead of saying backsteps, he said BAPsteps.
Nice.
And it sort of became sort of a famous term.
Nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are now into the pistol round. exceL eSports up against MALiK eSports. Winner goes to MCM. Best of 3 maps. It's a very patient start here from MALiK and Nuke. As you said, a very hard map to play as the T side, but they've made their way down into Secret. But I believe there might be a player waiting for them down there.
Yeah, but Rezu quick to return the frag. It is now 5 versus 4. Ink G, Peggy, Shaney, and Mighty Max with their eyes set on this lower bomb site, but the CTs are 1 step ahead of them. That's a brilliant flank coming in from Andrew. And Hoss, the bomb has gone down.
It has, as Andrew finds another frag there. He's on 2 already, and it's just Shaney left now in a very awkward position. The defuse is coming in. He gets 1 headshot. He needs to stop this defuse coming in, but he can't do so. And that's round 1 going to exceL eSports, and that just makes MALiK's job a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, because if they don't win this next round with only pistols and exceL get a 3-0 lead, it then means MALiK will have to get 4 gun rounds on the T side of Nuke. And obviously one of the main reasons to why Nuke was removed from the main sort of major map pool is because apparently a lot of players were complaining that it's just far too CT sided.
Yeah, and you can see that if you take an average of games, it is very CT side. You usually see at least double figures, maybe even 12, 13 rounds going to that CT side.
And obviously one of the main reasons why it is so CT side is because both bomb sites are on top of each other, so the CTs can just rotate between them so fast. And
also the fact that going into those bomb sites, the CTs, they don't need to peek. They could just hold angles. Like going into this upper A bomb site, what do you have? You have this very small area here. Or you've got Squeaky, which again is a very small area. They're able to trade 1-for-1 there, but look at exactly where Chronic is. It's just so easy for these CTs to get the frags. And when you look at the B bomb site, what have you got? You've got outside control, which again, the CTs have the vantage point off. Your smokes need to be on point. Or you've got radio room, which again is a very small area.
Well, again, it's that upper bomb site. The terrorists were pushing out of hut. You've got to think about all the corners and angles that the teams have to check. Exactly. So they push out of the initial hut door before they actually get onto the bomb site. They've got to check to the right of them, which is anyone hiding in that corner near vents. And then they've got to push out towards the bomb site. They've got to check the top left corner, the top right corner near heaven, someone on rafters, someone on top of them, someone on hut on top of them, someone behind the toxic barrel. Too many angles for them to check. Even though I would still like to see Nuke in the map pool. My gut feeling tells me that Valve are probably studying the map. They're going to make slight changes to it, and we might see it come back maybe 2 or 3 months from now.
Yeah, certainly so.
It's such a legendary
It's exactly
map
what they did to Train.
Yeah.
They took it off duty, gave it a few tweaks here and there. I still have yet to play the new Train, but that's a great way for MALiK to open things up here. Man advantage already. They have a passageway into Secret if they want to go for it. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. But first, they're going to get a second frag onto Victor.
Boaster already on this lower bomb site. And again, the perks of being a counter-terrorist on Nuke. He knows that the T's are outside, so again, he's just going to hold this angle. And even with the MP9, you can't help but fancy him, but that's going to be a huge frag for Shaney. But talking about huge frags, Chronic in a great position to capitalise with a P90, but he's not going to get the frag. Mighty Max coming in from Hut, and now at 4 versus 1, by the looks of things, Boaster has traded out his MP9 for an M4, and he's probably just going to fall back and try and save this.
Yeah, he most likely is, and I feel like as a CT, the 2 bomb sites play very differently. So on the A bomb site, you usually tend to just hold your angle and then just go back and forth peeking, just making sure that you play different angles every now and then and be flexible. Whereas the B bomb site, you keep falling back. You miss that first shot, you fall back. For example, in a radio room and you're playing from ramp, you miss that first shot, the T's know where you are, you can fall back down onto ramp itself. Or you can fall back into hell.
Well, that's an example of how much room for error the CTs have on a map like Nuke. On top of how the map is physically laid out. There's so many factors to take into account. And I think the best way to understand how CT-sided this map really is I'm not sure if it's still a part of matchmaking, but I think it's on Faceit still. So, for example, just jump into a pug sort of system or something and just try to play.
Or just get like a little 10-man going of your own.
Yeah, exactly. Try to play this map. Well, ESL have their own little pug system as well, don't they?
They do.
On the website.
ESL versus.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played some of it back towards the end of Source, which actually seems
a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. It was actually a pretty good system.
I think I've used it once or twice for League. But of course, pugs work very differently in League, and CS is much easier to get a game going.
Most likely going to see a full-on upper bomb site push coming in. The player onto your roof, he laid the smoke down, but they've got to try and push out together. Victor with 2 frags, but he is going to fall off the rafters, and even though Andrew tried to sneak up from behind, there's no reason to get the bomb down regardless, and that was a good take from MALiK eSports. I think Victor did really well to get at least 2 frags with just the FAMAS, but the rest of the exceL players didn't really show up.
Yeah, now they're going to be punished for it by going on to this eco round, and you've got to think MALiK are going to take this one, and then they've already got 3 rounds, and this T side, you tend to aim for 3 or 4 rounds as it is. So getting them this early on just gives them such a great head start moving forward.
And one of the reasons why MALiK have managed to limit exceL to only 2 rounds so far is because they planted on the pistol. And I think they planted on the second round as well, did they?
No, they just got mowed down.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But they planted on the pistol, which gave them that extra bit of money to invest come the 3rd round instead of them being forced to go into a 3-0 loss. But pistols from the CTs, and they're playing very aggressive.
Would you like fact of the day?
Sure.
This is the first time Nuke has been played in the ESL UK Premiership.
I wonder who's keeping, who's the sad person keeping track of that. Oh, sorry, Gumpster.
Who else would it
be? Yeah.
But, I mean, it's an interesting stat. Across all of the qualifiers, when we had the 228 team brackets, as exceL aren't even able to find any frags there. They finally find one onto Peggy. Imi's down to 15 HP, but InkG, easy pickups for him.
Yeah, just up against an eco. You know, every time one of us says Peggy.
Yeah. You think Peggy Mitchell?
Nah.
No, go on.
I imagine that manly American voice go, 16 in the back of my head. You know, Peggy 18, Peggy 16. The American game rating system.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, whenever you play, like, in GTA, there's always that
just
voice
the
that
trailer.
goes, yeah, Peggy 18. Yeah.
I keep thinking Peggy Mitchell for some reason.
Who is that?
EastEnders.
Yeah, I don't watch EastEnders.
Yeah, nor
I'm
did
more
I.
of a Corrie kind of guy.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, Manchester, mate.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
So, no helmets coming out from Chronic, Victor, Andrew, and Rezu. They know that all their opponents have AK-47s. And you save a little bit of money by not investing into the helmets. And let's be honest, exceL's financial state isn't exactly great at the moment, but Chronic could put an end to that. They haven't spotted him. He will pull the trigger onto 1, pulls the trigger onto 2. Not going to get the frag. Rezu now all alone on this upper bomb site. The bomb is at his disposal. There is the second from Rezu. And now Imi with a potential clutch on the cards.
There's one. But Andrew's going to keep his team alive here. Not going to give MALiK their 4th round on the board. But look at that. Imi sitting on just shy of 10k right now. Suggests that they're going to keep bomb buying here, even though Peggy is very low. Just having a few technical difficulties with Kyanite, so you've got my lovely voice for the time being. InkG setting up this smoke, which is going to go towards outside, I believe. And can't remember which team it was. I'm sure Kyanite can chime in, but...
Yeah, rip my eardrums after that, but I am back. Apologies about that, ladies and gents. It's all the talk of Coronation Street in EastEnders. We need to focus more on Counter-Strike.
Gaz walks off shaking his head. But 2 quick frags there for MALiK. InkG and Imi coming in from them, and pretty sure it was with you that I casted these games, and there are 3 smokes that you can do as Ts. One goes, in fact no, it might have been DDK, I think it was DDK, where from outside on the T side, you throw 3 smokes. One goes onto rafters themselves, the other one's acts as a wall, as it's now just 2 players left for exceL, and you essentially block off all the vision that the CT side can have, as now it's just Chronic left. Meaning you can get down into secret or even rotate into garage itself and then rotate all the way around. Chronic's able to pick up one though. Could have swapped out for an AK.
Yeah, he will do.
There we go.
But it might not matter in the end. He has been spotted. He's got Shaney coming from his right. And MALiK eSports, they're in Heaven at the moment, technically, because so early on in this first half, they've reached the promised land of 4 rounds already on the T side of Nuke, and they're in a good position to maybe make it 5 or 6. But still, nice 6, still wouldn't be catastrophic for exceL, particularly if they win their pistol going into the T half. But we saw how hard it is to win your T pistol.
Yeah, we did. Even
when
with
MALiK
a
obviously tried to do it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, getting a bomb plant on T-side pistol on Nuke isn't terrible because it does give you that early advantage of getting a buy round off.
Peggy making his way outside. A teammate helping him out as well, and Boaster will be the first death for the CTs. And there is the first death for the Ts. Chronic drops Imi. Andrew Isgord has been spotted. He only has a pistol in hand, but Victor, they haven't noticed he's there, and he's going to drop not just Mighty Max, but surely Shaney as well. Shaney, he is going to throw that nade, and
Kobe.
Victor gets blown to smithereens. But Shaney here is trying to plant, but the CTs are just left, right, and center of him.
Yep, Rezu has now picked up a P250. Chronic's going to find the frag with his AK. Peggy now drops Rezu, as they really need to get rid of Chronic here, but look at Andrew just bombing up and down there, showing his head. As this should go down, Chronic's going to burst his way round now. And he's going to find the frag on Shaney, a little bit reckless from him. This really isn't planted greatly for Peggy. And there it is, the eco round win coming in from exceL. Going to tie things up at 4 rounds each.
Good start from exceL. 4th round on the board, and 4 kills for Chronic. And MALiK, again, still more than enough money to buy.
Yep.
So this is something that's going to frustrate exceL quite a lot, because they need to try and break this economy, or this bank that MALiK eSports have built. And winning this round might just about force MALiK onto an eco round. Let's just wait and see.
He's going to make his way slowly into Hut now. We can already see they've got Rezu playing up close and personal, and Imi had just heard him drop down. Victor playing in Heaven. And then they have one more player playing on the top of Hut, just keeping this A site on lockdown. Only playing 1 on ramp and 1 outside. Pretty aggressive outside too, considering that he's all the way down in secret. As opposed to just buying his team some time here. And the later this round goes on, the more pressure the T-side feel, the more likely they are to make mistakes. And when you are on T-side Nuke, it is very easy to make mistakes.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to rush things in the last few 20-odd seconds and you know you really need to get the plant down.
Yeah.
So what they've done here is they've sent 3 guys outside, but they've still got Imi, all eyes on ramp room, and Max, all eyes on lobby. So if they can get a frag onto Boaster here, it could signify a split towards the B-bomb site. But no, I've spoken too soon. It's going to be Boaster to get a frag of his own. Victor outside gets the double, and MALiK right now falling like flies. Peggy all by himself, and he's... Now, unless he can get 5 frags within 20 seconds, he's not got this round.
Yeah. I actually really like the way that exceL are setting up their CT side as well, because they have Andrew playing... Peggy's going to get 1 though. Not anymore. They have Andrew playing from secret, so quite an unconventional position to be playing outside from. You usually see it from main or garage. They then have 3 on the A site, one of them being Victor, I think, in Heaven, who can then also look outside. And then they're just happy playing 1 guy on ramp, who can just keep falling back and reposition should he need to.
So they're willing to give up ramp room, basically.
Because they have the quick rotate from the A players straight down.
Like you said, the player who does play from the steps, it's sort of like a position that you can use once every 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
You can't overuse it, otherwise the Ts will just Molotov you out and nade you like crazy.
And this time he's playing it from garage, and look at this, he's got a clear sight onto some of the MALiK players here. Tags Max and Shaney down quite a bit as Victor finishes the job.
He does. That was really good stuff from Andrew, because he was technically the distraction. So MALiK was so focused on trying to frag him that they basically ended up running into Victor's crosshair. Yeah. It was a great crossfire, and that's just a small example of how well you can make teamwork function in Counter-Strike.
And there's another example, pop flash coming out from Victor. Andrew peeks around and easy pickup. Both are rotating all the way from B.
And that requires a lot of communication and coordination as well. It looks easy when you watch it, but when you actually try to put yourself in the shoes of the players, Andrew, for a second, I thought he was going to make a mistake because he peeked outside, and then he re-peeked, and the T was shooting at him with an AK-47, and I thought surely he's going to headshot Andrew, but he did fall back when he had to. And that was good decision-making from him.
Yeah. As this time, they're not going for the same setup. They've actually gone pretty aggressive, playing this one more standard outside, playing it from main, as MALiK play very patiently on this eco round. Imi is going to fall, however, as does Peggy and Shaney to Boaster. Boaster gets another, Victor gets the last one of the round. As exceL's looking like they're going to start to run away with this one. 7-4, MALiK can put a buy together, and I wonder whether we'll see exceL actually go for this AWP on this CT side. It's been working for them so far.
It has. We were talking about how strong the MALiK economy was a few rounds ago, Hoss.
Yeah.
Now look at exceL's economy. That's all it takes. It takes just to win 3 consecutive rounds. And before you know it, you're rolling in the dollar. Especially on a CT-sided map like Nuke. And because it's so CT-sided, you obviously lose less guns. So you're in a better position to save up the bank, basically. Because you lose less weapons.
Yeah.
I somehow managed to turn that into rocket science.
Rocket science is easy.
Is it?
Yeah. Just one force in one direction, another in the other, and one has to be greater, therefore the rocket will move up. Boaster taking a trade outside with InkG. Chronic's going to put a shot into Peggy's head, and it's actually brain surgery, which is the difficult one.
Victor with 1. It's not going to be enough, but it's still slight advantage in favour of the CTs. I'm not sure if Imi actually saw Chronic throw that nade. He definitely knows he's there now. Mighty Max in a 1 versus 2 to try and clutch it. And the beauty of this situation right now is that he does have 35 seconds to play with, and he has the bomb on his back. So we've got Andrew just outside of main, and Boaster, who's pushing ramp room. But again, Boaster's very low here, Hoss.
Yep, and Max does have that molly, which he's going to send over that way. He's going to go for a fake plant here, but he has no real need to.
He's got to get a move on now.
Yep, 10 seconds left. Boaster's hearing this one go down.
I don't think he played that right.
No, he should have planted it when he had the opportunity, rather than just waste time, because exceL knew there was very little time on the clock, but the T had no reason to really rotate towards the B bomb site, so he couldn't really play chicken in that sense.
Thing is, it almost seemed like, I imagine one of his teammates would have called that the ramp guy was low, because obviously Boaster being on 6 HP, someone must have called that they did 94 in something to him. So him putting that Molotov down, in theory, shut off the potential rotation coming from that player, and with that smoke in front of Toxic, it meant that any CT in main probably wasn't going to be able to frag him either. So he's, unless a CT had rotated through the Molotov, which Boaster wouldn't have done because of how low he was, the only place the CT really could have taken him on was from heaven. And in a situation like that, you shut off as many points as you can, just plant the bomb and get a move on. And I think he played that incorrectly, but who knows?
You would have also heard the player moving up ladder into heaven. You would have known it. You would have had no need to look.
He could have stopped the plant and got a headshot.
Exactly. Peggy opens up this round though by dropping Andrew, who's had a very good round or map so far. Playing from his position. Shaney probably didn't know that Chronic was there. Can open up the door. Chronic gets headshot and another and one more. Or not, as Max finds that frag. They know Victor's up in heaven. He's also very low, as Boaster is down on that lower B bomb site. Can only really come up through vents, as this is going to be the bomb plant now for MALiK. 30 seconds left on the clock. They're going to get this one down, as they now look for frags.
Oh, Boaster, so unlucky there. Going straight up the vent into the crosshair of Max. And Victor only on 22 HP here. The CTs, as we addressed earlier, they still got plenty of money, but it still wouldn't surprise me if Victor doesn't bother going for it. It's going to be very tough for him. That aside, though, MALiK will accumulate their 5th round, which is incredibly strong on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, it is, and they're not even going to let Victor save that weapon now. Does that mean exceL run an eco? No, far from
No, like I said, they've got more than enough money.
And now they're going to pick up the AWP, switching things up even more.
Most likely outside.
Yeah. More than likely, but yeah.
Oh, we could see Victor and Andrew switch, and it could see Victor go outside with the M4 and Andrew play Rafters, where Victor was playing with his AWP, but no, they're going to stick to the same thing. Again, you get a lot of freedom on the CT side where you want to go with the AWP. Sometimes you see the AWP in ramp room.
You do.
We don't see it as much in CSGO as we used to back in Source, but yeah.
ENG, this is something MALiK do really well. They're really great at getting the first frag of the round, but then it's the task of actually turning that into a round win, which they've struggled with, but they have done it 5 times. That's more than enough for T-Side Nuke, looking to get their 6th on the board now.
The more the merrier, and let's see whether MALiK eSports can do it. There's the smoke towards ramp room, and now exceL have quite a few smokes of their own and Molotovs as well, so they need to start to put them into action to run down the clock, but it's not actually going to matter. Peggy gets the kill onto Andrew. Imi so close to getting one of his own, but Rezu and Victor, good teamwork coming in from them, good crossfire. Chronic, however, gets nailed in the head, and this could go either way now. Victor should probably wait for Rezu to rotate round, but the bomb will go down nonetheless.
It will, as Rezu has to come from ramp room, so he's going to walk all the way around and potentially into Peggy's crosshair. ENG playing in Squeaky, expecting there to be a ramp rotation through this way, but in fact it's gone outside. The bomb's ticking down quicker and quicker now. As looks like Rezu's just saving here for exit frags, and Victor's doing the exact same.
Yeah, exceL could force buy after this one. If they get 9-6, like we addressed earlier, and win the pistol, it won't be game over. I mean, even at 9-9, it still wouldn't be game over.
Yep.
It's not over until...
It's over.
Yeah, exactly. Just how MALiK have had a very strong T-half. exceL could have a very strong T-half. Think back to the MALiK Xenex game on Inferno, where both teams were actually stronger on the T side of Inferno than they were on the CT side. And even though this is Nuke and it's even more CT-sided than Inferno, we still could see the same thing.
This is Counter-Strike. Anything can happen.
Especially with these teams.
Especially in the UK.
We're fortunate in the UK to, let's just say, have our own style of play.
Yeah, you get to see some great games, but some of them might be very special games.
So last round of the half, of course, exceL are going to force it up. Chronic with the Mag 7, and he's just hiding on top of the hut. Boaster, very passive holding of ramp. Victor, the only man watching outside. And no, look at this. Andrew changing his position yet again. And he's on this lower area, which T's don't actually check that often, you know. They don't really expect you to be playing there. Most of the time they look towards where Victor is stood.
Yeah, I really like this smoke as well, because it forces Boaster to spam through, and then he has to fall back immediately. And that incendiary now either delays them or forces the T's to go up into heaven. This is an interesting fake they've sold here. Rezu still standing strong on this A-bomb site. Flash goes out onto this A site as well. They're going to burst out of main. They're going to try and get down Rezu. Victor, though, he's up top, able to get 2 frags before he goes down. And now it's Shaney versus the world. He's got 2 members to try and get rid of, and he gets rid of 2 out of 3. 1 man left now in the form of Boaster. And that's a very nice plant from Shaney.
Oh, I'm not sure whether Shaney will have heard that footstep.
You would have heard him drop.
I think he has, and Shaney knows that Boaster's coming. It's a game of Ringa Ringa Roses now. Boaster hasn't quite seen his head, but there it is. The M4A1S, like a laser beam gun, to win the 9th round of the half for exceL. And look, 9-6, not ideal.
Nope.
But it's still not too shabby.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's on like the lower end of the rounds you expect to get on the CT
borderline.
side. Yeah, borderline bad.
I'd be worried if it was 8-7.
Oh, yes.
And thing is, people watching at home might think there's not that much difference between 9-6 and 8-7. But on Nuke, that one round makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Because you go in now, should MALiK win the pistol round, then it's even. It's a tied game. They go into the gun rounds even. But if it's 8-7 and MALiK win the pistol round there, then that becomes a massive lead. That's a 10-8 lead when you're on the least favoured side as well. having to claw your way back. Psychology really does come into it.
So how are MALiK trying to play this CT setup? InkG falling back incredibly passively towards the slower B bomb site. That Molotov should slow exceL down a tiny little bit, but MALiK haven't dedicated just yet, but it's good position from Peggy and Vents.
They're playing very patient so far. Don't want to rush things, of course. Pistol rounds so important, especially on DE Nuke, as the T's set themselves up to burst out onto this A bomb site, and here it comes. Mighty Max going to go up, get the vantage point. Shaney and Imi doing the work so far. Shaney gets another, Max gets one. And Max finishes things off. 3k from him for that round, 2k even. Now you're really looking at a 9-9 scoreline.
Really good CT hold coming out from the MALiK players. I don't think exceL asked enough questions of them there, to be honest with you. I don't think there were enough flashes and smokes going onto that upper bomb site. Almost looked like they wanted to initially dedicate towards B, and then someone came up with a mid-round call and just said, look, let's go back towards A. And they took so long to the point where they were... The CTs had them sussed out. There was bloody 4 of them on that upper A bomb site.
This is an interesting one, because usually on this second round you see Tech-9 armor. But exceL, they didn't get the bomb down, and they're going for a very, very safe eco here. But even this won't give them enough to buy on that second round, unless they go for galil and standard body armor.
Andrew might want the AWP, but then again, it still makes you wonder why
everyone else?
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
Like, the only reason would be a surprise factor with those galils.
Maybe they want as many nades as possible come round number 4.
But I mean, if MALiK don't fall here, then they'll probably still keep their MP7 and their UMP. So again, a galil force buy could work.
Don't know, man.
We'll see.
We can only speculate. Jinx. But here we go, the Glocks. Not doing too shabby just yet. Peggy with 1. We've got, in fact, all 3 terrorists incredibly low on health. And it should be an easy frag for Peggy. And Rezu will hit the floor as well. And Peggy with a nice and easy 4-man. And he's going to pick up that Rec 9 as well.
Yeah, so again, they're just going to go for these P250s Tech-9s, wanting to go for those full set of grenades later on, because smokes and flashes, particularly less so Molotovs on Nuke, are so important when you're trying to get onto these sites, especially going outside. You really need to commit at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 smokes to getting down to secret.
So again, as expected, Eco coming out. They've invested in a few smokes here though. One going towards outside, and Imi, well, he just wants to take him on with just the Tech-9 that he picked up from the last round here. MALiK, interesting to see them not invest, but...
That's a nice molly.
Let's see whether they can make it work for them.
Imi gets 1 headshot. Can hear Boaster around next to him. As Mighty Max up in this position with the UMP, going to be trying to get frags with his P2000, and he does so. So it's just Chronic left now, P250 in hand.
Definitely an interesting choice of buys over the last 2 rounds.
Yeah,
for
like exceL got 2 frags on just Glocks and maybe 1 P250. If they'd have committed Tech-9s and armor in there, which is the standard procedure,
it might have made
they might have got 1, 2, maybe more frags. Bomb plant, who knows?
Strange. I mean, yeah, granted, Andrew has the AWP, but look, it's a glass cannon AWP as well.
Yeah. So it's not as even if that was worth it.
Look at the amount of nades that Boaster, Chronic, and Victor and Rezu have. I can only assume that you know, they wanted these nades, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. See if we see any clues as to how they use these grenades. So far, we've only seen a grenade go towards Squeaky, and that was, of course, to blow it open to allow Andrew to peek towards outside, or towards main rather.
Imi's AWP is gonna miss the head of Boaster outside. Gonna go for a flashbang and rotate round. And he's in fact gonna get taken down outside, but Max is there to get the return frag onto Andrew, and there are more where that come from. But but Max is going to fall back.
So looking good for exceL. Obviously, even though it's 4 versus 4, it means the CTs can cover a lot less ground. And according to Imi, this was actually exceL's pick.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So here we go. It looks like we're going to see an upper push, but even though these flashes are coming in, the CTs, I'm sorry, they're just not getting flashed. exceL needs someone on T roof flashing in off the skybox, and these flashes where they just stand in lobby and throw one through the window in hut and one underarm throw through the floor, they're not really pop flashes. The CT see them and just turn around from them, and they're not dealing the amount of damage with the flashes as they should be, or at least rather as they need to take over that upper bomb site.
They should probably chase down Boaster here, try and get the AWP, and they do so.
They don't get the AWP, but
they stop Boaster grabbing it.
Exactly, made it very expensive.
He got no income as well
for exceL.
because he died after the round officially ended, so no income for him.
It just occurred to me, exceL eSports being called exceL. It reminded me of that front page Reddit post a few months ago where a team was sort of named after Microsoft Office programs.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
PowerPoint, exceL, OneNote, Word, and another
Outlook,
one.
I think.
Outlook, yeah. I remember seeing that. That was...
I love it when little funny things like that pop up on our
the little
global
things
offensive.
in life. Speaking of the little things in life, exceL have to put up with measly pistols.
We both know that I was thinking of a different joke.
I was going to say,
but I think it's appropriate.
I could have transitioned into many things.
But, well, they're going to run straight into InkG. Max getting on the score sheet as well. He tried to pull out the Tech 9, but this really should be easy peasy lemon squeezy for a player of Max's quality. I'm not sure whether he realizes Boaster has actually snuck up onto him, but if they do get that frag and make it a 3 versus 2 and Boaster picks up an M4, then who knows what might happen.
That was a lot of bullets used.
Yeah.
Victor trying to save this FAMAS now because it's going to be a pretty long save. He can't get the bomb. He has to just go purely for frags and hope that he might get out with this FAMAS and drop it to Boaster because, of course, Boaster... even if this gets saved, Victor or Boaster has to go with the Tech 9 next round.
The question I had now is whether he will be able to save it. Fortunate to have picked up that smoke. It'll cover him for a little bit. And, okay, so...
Okay, Boaster can just about buy. But just about.
Just about. And Victor, of course, will stick with that FAMAS, which he picked up last time round. Not as good as the AK, of course, but hey, he picked it up, he got it for free. He might as well try and conserve a little bit of cash. And 2 Molotovs coming out. One for Victor, one for Chronic. So I'm really looking forward to see where they end up using them.
Well, there's the M4 of Imi doing work on towards Chronic.
And one of the Molotovs down.
And
without
one of the
being
mollies
used.
down, exactly.
A heck of a load of other nades as well.
It's essentially 800 or 1,000 wasted. It's a lot of money.
Obviously, what we could see is these outside players throw their own smokes, pick up the smoke off the dead body and try and recycle the other. But I mean, going
Andrew hasn't
down
picked them up.
one man so early on is still, it's not just about the nades, it's about the
Nice
men
pick.
as well. That's a good return frag.
As these smokes do start to go out. Very nice pick there onto Mighty Max, getting in the headshot there from Boaster. Even so, it's quiet on this German power plant.
Is it in Germany? I'm pretty sure it's Russian.
Is it Russia? I thought it was Germany.
Well, I think it's Ukraine, but hello, Andrew is God, going unnoticed towards main. There is the AWP kill. And now MALiK eSports is a 4 versus 2. But let's see what they can do. InkG is just underneath one of these exceL players, and if he can jump out of heaven going unnoticed, he might be able to get this frag, but there is a terrorist waiting for him. The question at hand is, yep, he has seen the top of his head. He falls down the ladder, and now Peggy, really the best he can hope for here, hosses a few exit frags. Rezu is low, but I don't think the others are going to show themselves, or maybe they will. Peggy, is he going to go for it? He is, but Andrew disposes of him to get his second of the round. And let's try and find out whether this is German or Ukrainian. Because
I'm feeling like it is now
that does actually look German. But
yeah, no, it is German because GmbH.
What am I thinking of then? That is German, you're right.
Yeah, it is German because GmbH is a type of company.
What map am I thinking of then?
I don't know. Overpass is also German.
What's that Russian-Ukrainian map? Ah, I'm thinking of Cash because of the communist sign. And I'm thinking of the new train as well. Yeah, my bad.
Have they got a picture of Pop Dog in Pop Dog now on train or not?
It's not the old Pop Dog drink picture they had at 1.6, but I think there is some sort of reference to it, like a graffiti, similar to how like on Beatles 2 it says Goose now. Yeah. Even though I still call it graffiti. I
never knew it was called Goose.
Well, I call, you know, that little corner on the A-bomb
site.
You know the little corner on the A-bomb site coming up the ramp from CT spawn? I call that gay spot, but a lot of people call it Gandalf now for some reason.
You shall not pass. Anyway, it's amazing what different nations call different places. 3D Max, well, not 3D Max. Sorry, I'll continue that one afterwards. Let's see, MALiK, who's one of their players early on. Peggy gonna get the trade though onto Victor, making it a 4 versus 4. He's gonna go all the way down here into Vent. He is being hurt. And he gets taken down.
Yeah, they knew what was coming. Boaster and Chronic, 2 huge frags there. Down drops Ink G, and Chronic went back into Vents and disposed of the MALiK player. And exceL, they were 11-9 down. And it looked like it was going to be a tough upwards hill climb for them on this T side. But my God, have they looked good in the past 2 rounds. It will be 11-11. Imi's just going to try and save this M4. And financially, the CTs, they're in trouble. So Imi's going to save this M4. And the question at hand here, Hoss, is do you think they're going to try and force the buy? They are the more favoured team, so they do sort of have the positional advantage if they return their frags.
They're going to get 1.9k for this round, so Max is going to... No, 2.7, no. Maybe a P250 on someone, but no.
See, the thing is, I just feel like what they could potentially do here is... Imi's a guy with the M4, he has 1.9k. If he drops some 5.7s or P250s around and the other guys buy up armor, what they could do is just stack like 5 people on top of the upper A bomb site.
And then rotate down when needed.
Yeah,
so quick.
And just go together as one unit and hope they get a few frags. Again, it's just about changing it up.
I like this from Imi.
He'll get a lot of information realising they're not in lobby.
I mean,
obviously so many players outside sort of indicates a potential
You wanted the A stack as well.
Oh, but this could actually go completely against their plans if they don't realise and they're not careful. Is someone going to try and pick up that Chronic AK-47? The gunshots there have revealed the positions of exceL.
Victor's made his way all the way in CT, back towards T-spawn. But it is essentially behind Imi. And Rezu's done the same. Imi could get caught out big time, but he is slow walking. He needs to check all angles, and he's going to find that frag. Really nice patient play.
Yeah, he's got his teammates' backs, but the question at hand now is, does he realise where Victor might be? He definitely knows where he is now, and he's going to relay that information to the rest of his teammates. But exceL eSports, it looked like they were going to struggle this round. But they have somewhat salvaged it. The bomb's down on the upper bomb site. Shaney has no armor and just an M4. Ink G with just a P2000. And if I was Ink G here, I'd just honestly pick up this M4 and fall back and save alongside Shaney.
Yep.
I just think if they had gone 12-11 down on the CT side of Nuke, it just wouldn't have been catastrophic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, you're losing on the CT side of Nuke, but you're going into a buy round, save 2 M4s, help your economy. Because if they'd saved those 2 M4s, it would have essentially meant that 2 players wouldn't have had to buy M4s. So if they had spent, let's say, $2,000 on armor, helmet,
and 4 nades,
then they would have been left with around 2.9k.
And enough to drop 2 guns next round.
Yep. Again, especially when you're on the CT side, because how many rounds have we seen come out from CT sides on CSGO and Nuke where they just have the CZ or just have the 5-7
and just show some aggression.
Yeah, not just show some aggression, play passive as well, but because we spoke about earlier, all the different corners and stuff, if you play your cards right and pick the right spots and get up close and personal with the P250, especially when it becomes a one-shot headshot so up close, and the second you pick up an AK-47, you can deal a heck of a load of damage. And MALiK do have to turn this around ASAP. They are going to have a gun round now, but if they fail to win this gun round, and it puts exceL at 13, it wouldn't surprise me, Hoss, if MALiK start force buying up, because they've just got to try and do something to this exceL economy.
As they're pretty tight on money as it is. They can't get full nades this time round. As he's going to throw a smoke back towards T-spawn. Follow out with a flashbang. Are they actually playing anyone outside? No, they're not. Imi is the closest thing to it, playing very deep, very passive. And by the time he gets this information, it could be too late for the rotate.
Well, the thing is here, Imi doesn't necessarily have to face them.
Yeah.
He could just hold a very acute angle, and the second he sees sort of a pixel change, he'll know that terrorists have made their way towards back steps, and he can then call that to his teammates who are at the moment grouped up on the A-bomb site, and they could just send someone down towards vents and make sure someone's ready and waiting. But very passive coming out from MALiK. And as a terrorist on this map, it frustrates you when you can't see your opponents like this. Ah, that's what I didn't want to happen.
Imi to get picked off like that. One dink to the head, but InkG is going to stop this push. He knows there's another player there, and of course he's going to fall back. I like this position from Peggy though. He just spotted two players as he did jump down, and he's going to go for the face, drops the AWP, but Victor's going to do the exact same coming out of Hart. And not only did he drop Shaney, but he also dropped Max.
Well, Victor tweeted out yesterday saying that prior to yesterday's 80-round game against Zenix, he hadn't actually played competitive Counter-Strike in something around 6 months.
Oof.
Yeah, so for him to come back after 6 months of not playing competitive Counter-Strike and do so well, he really should be proud of himself and deserves a pat on the back. I remember, this is probably, my guess is 2008, when there used to be this thing called eSports Heaven, which isn't the CAD with eSports Heaven, it was an older eSports Heaven. It was like a platform where they used to run tournaments, mainly COD 4 tournaments, I think, but they also ran CSS tournaments from time to time. I remember actually playing a one-night cup with him. It was like, I think it was a Tuscan-only cup, or the first map we played was Tuscan. He used to go by the name of MVic.
Is that because at that point you got knocked out in the first round? So
we did.
So you thought it was Tuscan only?
I'm not sure. I'm probably mixing it up with like UNGL, because UNGL used to do a lot of sort of map-only tournaments. They even did a CS hostage cup once, which was really fun. We played Office like 3 rounds in a row.
I remember the only time I played with you, we played Office.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
It's a sick map. Providing you start on the CT side.
Of course, because that is... yeah.
So Eco coming out from MALiK, and unfortunately no surprises. exceL, they're 1-0 up, and it looks like... No, they're not 1-0 up, sorry.
No,
I mixed it up with the last game. It's 0-0, but this was their map pick, and they've already made it clear they don't like Nuke, so maybe they messed up the veto, but for them, if it was a messed up veto, for them to at least win their map is definitely positive for them. In theory, we can only expect MALiK to win the next map because that was their pick, and then it, of course, would take us to a third map, which would be Overpass. But hey-ho, we might not need a third map, because exceL, they've just looked so good throughout this entire ESL Premiership. And let's bear in mind that exceL didn't actually qualify for the event. They got invited after the qualifiers.
And there was a lot of discussion about these invited teams. Whether
they were good enough.
Whether they were good enough, whether they really deserved it. And right now, I think the answer is yes. Yes, they did.
Imi with that AWP. We discussed him earlier. He's their makeshift AWPer, but he looks like a natural when he pulls off shots like that. Chronic knows Shaney's hiding in and around the toxic area. Great nade going in. And MALiK eSports, they've got a few smokes here. Hoss, inkG with the molly as well here for ramp room, and they could potentially slow them down a lot here with the nades they've currently got. It's just about running down the clock on the CT side, especially on a map like Nuke.
Just hold your angles. The Ts tend to play very passive as it is. And once they make that move, if you can delay it with smokes, with flashes, it all helps.
Andrew spotted. Andrew terminated. Peggy. Rezu spotted. Chronic spotted.
Both down.
Yep. Enemies down. And now
Enemydown.com.
Rest in pepperoni's enemy down. You will be missed, good friend.
But hey, I mean, we've got UKCSGO.com.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good bounce
I'm not
back.
sure whether they're going to be running tournaments and stuff on it. Because Enemy Down, I think, back in the day, it had a forum and stuff, but it was mainly a tournament platform, whilst UK CSGO sort of seems to be...
For a news site.
Yeah, similar to what Cadred used to be or what HLTV currently is, but just for UK CS.
Had some good activity, though. I mean, Oliver Stubley, I think it is, did a post about the 88 round epic.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes after it concluded.
That's top quality journalism for you.
It is.
And again, that's the thing about the UK, produce top quality journalists.
We do.
Top quality casters.
We do everything well except play the games.
Yeah, exactly. We're lacking as far as the players are concerned right now. Or at least what I said is what everyone in HLTV seems to claim. That comment made me laugh yesterday, though, where a guy said UK teams are so bad that they can't even beat each other 80-odd rounds into the game. Deary me. So, advantage to exceL eSports here, Hoss. MALiK, they really have no choice now. I'm pretty sure they don't want to try and give match point away. Do you reckon they can do it, even though they are a man down? Let's bear in mind it's Nuke.
Yeah, again, all they really need to do is just play passive, hold their angles, and catch the Ts off guard when they're a little bit reckless, but they can't let someone like Rezu
I'm not sure they realise it's there.
Exactly. Okay, now they do.
I think that was just a sort of a...
Precautionary.
Yeah, precisely. It's running down the clock. And a lot of CTs would have actually forgotten that potential flank, but they know there's good communication between them. They knew that there wasn't anyone watching outside and that there could have potentially been someone. But oh no, Boaster, how did he get there? Mighty Max comes in, and Boaster with the AWP in a great position to deal a heck of a load of damage. Peggy from behind, Peggy with a double. 1:5:15 seconds on the clock. Bomb has been picked up, and inkG now, he's in vents. He can't stop this bomb going down. And Hoss, it's do or die for inkG here.
I feel like that incendiary should have probably gone up into heaven. Oh. Chronic should find this one, and there it is. Match point now to exceL, or map point to exceL eSports. Whatever the outcome of this map, we move on to Cash, which we know MALiK are oh so strong at.
They are. It is one of their favourite maps. And I believe we've seen them play on it already.
Yep, Xenix.
Yeah, we've seen them play.
16-14.
Play twice, I think it is on that map.
Yeah, they played it yesterday as well.
Where
I think they won 16-4.
Imi and inkG hold mid incredibly well, particularly Imi with his AWP.
Yeah, Mighty Max as well.
Yeah.
It's usually Max and inkG, or if Imi has the AWP and he's playing there, it's Max and Imi.
That's the thing, they switch it around.
Yeah, it's so flexible. They have Cash down to a T. They were extremely unlucky to lose it to Xenix.
So now MALiK eSports playing for the overtime. Otherwise, it will gift the map to exceL eSports, and they will be one step closer to qualifying to MCM. It's a real pressure cooker right now, Hoss. exceL eSports waiting almost for these MALiK nerves to appear, and sort of they're hoping that the CTs will go a bit too aggressive, try to get an entry, and then make it work in their favour.
Hope they just twitch out of position, kind of. Like they can't help themselves. inkG does find one. Peggy gets a good tag on both Boaster and Andrew there. This double AWP set up on the T side is very unconventional.
Yeah, but Imi, he's in a great position.
Shame there's no one coming to him.
Precisely. And
although he could catch out Boaster here and Rezu.
If I was an exceL player here, or at least, well, there were a few of them alive, but they fell with quick succession. They still have room for error. If Boaster can just survive with this AWP, it might not be the end of the world for him, but the problem is they're just all around him. I'm surprised Imi hasn't sprayed through the wall. There it is, yeah.
Yep.
And at 15-13, economically, Boaster has plenty of cash, and it was unfortunate he couldn't save the AWP.
Yep.
exceL are going to buy up, but despite this buy up, with Boaster on over 3.5k, let's assume that he hits 5 point something k next round, he'll probably be able to just about maybe drop an AK-47.
Well,
if exceL loses,
if they lose, they get 1.9k.
they'll still have a decent force buy for the last round to prevent the overtime.
3k on Victor, 3.1 on Rezu. Decent maybe 4 AK/Galils, but it looks like they won't be needing it. 2 frags already on Shaney and Peggy. Make that 3. Max gets 1 to return it, however, as he's now forced back outside 2 versus 4. Flashbang's going to go down, but looking at Max down to a mere 5 HP now. Inkji's going to find 1 as Andrew and Rezu both tagged heavily. Chronic gets that frag, but the bomb is ticking further and further down, quicker and quicker. Andrew holding a great angle here. Inkji's going to push out, and he gets taken down. 16-13 is the first map score here on DE Nuke between exceL eSports and MALiK eSports.
That was close.
It was.
But I can't help but think the fact that exceL started on the CT side, even though they didn't have the best of CT sides,
Yep.
it just sort of gives you that
confidence, that
Exactly.
safety net.
Exactly, and that can make the difference.
Certainly can. Just shows how important knife rounds actually are.
Exactly. But anyways, we've got Cash coming up next.
We do. And MALiK look very strong on Cash.
They love their Cash.
Yeah,
I don't think they've lost a game of Cash so far.
16-14 to Xenex.
Oh, they lost that, didn't they?
Yeah, it was close though.
Fair enough. But anyways, guys, we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back shortly with map number 2.